My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome, my friends, to the Tuesday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, the fastest hour in American media. Lots of things, of course, in the news today, and we will touch on as many of them as time allows. Some of them hilarious. Some of them, well, you will be the judge. I did not know until I read something in the Washington Post. Is it the Yes, it's the Washington Post. I did not know that the Energy Star program had helped many American consumers and was very, very, very popular. You know, when you go buy a major appliance, they have these yellow stickers all over it that people peel off and everything. It's Energy Star. That stuff. Well, the Trump administration, ladies and gentlemen, sad to say from those of you fans, and apparently there are many of you, many of you fans of Energy Star, the Trump administration is doing away with the Energy Star program for home appliances. The Environmental Protection Agency, says the Washington Post, plans to end Energy Star, a popular program whose iconic blue labels, see, I thought they were yellow. Whatever. Blue labels have certified the energy efficiency of home appliances for more than 3 decades. According to 3 people briefed on the matter in documents reviewed by the Washington Post, during an all-hands meeting Monday of the EPA's Office of Atmospheric Protection, the administration officials announced the office would be dissolved and that Energy Star would be eliminated. This was it. What the heck does Energy Star have to do with atmospheric protection? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The 3 people said, speaking on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to comment publicly, and they should be fired for leaking to the Washington Post. The end of Energy Star, first reported by CNN, builds on the Trump administration's broader attacks on energy efficiency standards. Yet, the decision is likely to draw pushback on Capitol Hill, where Energy Star has historically enjoyed modest bipartisan support. A handful of moderate Republican senators have championed the program. Oh, some rhinos, most likely. So, now we have... Carlos, what are you going to do when it's time to go buy a new appliance and there's no Energy Star label on it? What are you going to do? How are you going to handle it?
I'll still get it. What do you mean?
It's a popular program. It helped people buy appliances. Didn't it help you?
I'm not going to lose sleep over it if that's what you're telling me.
You're just not fun. TJ, what are you going to do when it's time to buy a new refrigerator or a new dishwasher or a new something and there's no Energy Star label on it? How are you going to survive this?
I'm going to cry because I don't know how much electricity my appliance is using.
You're going to cry because you don't know how much energy it's using.
That's sarcasm.
Oh. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how you people are going to survive out there. You're going to go into the store. You're going to be looking around. Look, I don't want to start naming names of stores because I might leave somebody out. Wherever you shop for your fine appliances, like if you go to, let's say, Best Buy, or you go to Target, or you go to Walmart, or you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, any of those, Amazon, and you look around for appliances and there's no government label on it. And then Are you going to feel confident now buying an appliance?
Wait, is this
without
happening in the whole country?
Yeah, everybody. No more Energy Star. It's gone. It's done. The Trump administration is attacking energy efficiency by taking away the labels off your appliances.
Well, I guess I'm going to Canada to get like a dishwasher from now on, or a fridge where they would keep the program. I don't know.
Canada may not have the energy program. This is the United States program. It's the EPA. I don't even know whether Canada has, and I don't know how these people, if they don't have one, have been living without an Energy Star program. How they live, I don't understand. But speaking of Canada, thank you for that. Because speaking of Canada, guess who showed up at the White House today? Why? It was a new PM of Canada. Well, the new old PM, he was already the acting PM. Now it's official. He's the elected PM of Canada, Mark Carney. And Donald Trump... yes, this is the one that I sent you. That's not on the cue sheet, Carlos. So let's just hear Donald Trump and Carney is sitting right next to him during this exchange. Some people say Carney was squirming. I don't know whether he was squirming or not, but let's just listen. The new PM comes in, and he didn't ask Trump about the Energy Star thing either, which I just find shameful. We get this news today. PM of Canada shows up, didn't ask Trump about Energy Star, but this is what Donald Trump said.
Mr. President, you have said that Canada should become the 51st state.
No. Well, I still believe that, but you know, it takes two to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut. And it's also a beautiful, you know, as a real estate developer, you know, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person. But when I looked at that beauty, I said, that's the way it was meant to be. But, you know, I do feel it's much better for Canada. But we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But I think, it would really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may,
from
real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. And we have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
Yeah, so after the public remarks, and that public remarks lasted about a half an hour before the cameras, a bunch of questions and all that, they went to a private working lunch along with their top advisors and the ministers from the new Canadian government. And we don't know what was discussed in there. Donald Trump did say, though, we protect Canada militarily, and we always will. We're not going to, it's not a money thing. We're always going to protect Canada, but it's not fair. But anyway, so they're making nice. They are making nice. Now, the liberals are driving themselves banana over this idea that every illegal immigrant into the United States should have due process. We have what quote-unquote due process, because they never tell you exactly what due process is. So on today, the fastest hour in media, we are going to take a look at some of the remarks that are being made about that. In the New York area, over across the river, across the Hudson, and then a little bit further, yes, across the Hudson, but I wouldn't go through the Lincoln Tunnel. I might. Get to Newark, New Jersey. Now, Newark, New Jersey has a mayor, Ras Baraka. To me, that is like one of the best names of a mayor ever. It sounds like a Marvel character. Ras Baraka. He is the son, I believe, of the poet, the late poet out of New Jersey, Imamu Baraka, whose his first name was Leroy Jones. I'm not making this up, before he changed his name to Imamu Baraka. Now, Imamu Baraka is very well known, was leftist, but nice, for all intents and purposes, nice guy from what I understand him. But his son, Ras Baraka, his son relative, is running Newark these days.
He ain't related to that guy off the 18?
What?
B.A. Baraka?
I don't know.
Mr. T?
Mr. T? I don't know. Don't confuse me. Anyway, Ras Baraka. It sounds like a Marvel name. So we have illegal immigrants being housed over in the Delaney. It's called the Delaney, whatever it is, Center for Illegal Immigrant Studies or whatever it is. And liberals are having a cow. If you deport them, liberals have a cow. If you detain them, liberals have a cow. If you send them to El Salvador, liberals have a cow. No matter what you do, liberals have a cow. So anyway, Mr. Baraka and others, Mr. Baraka tried to get into this. It's all fenced off. Tried to let a group of politicians over there and elderly protesters, they tried to break in the place, and it didn't work. But then you had a bunch of, and they looked like holdovers from the 1960s protests. You had a bunch of people, this is cut 9, protesting outside of Delaney Hall Detention Center in Newark on behalf of the illegal immigrants that are being detained there awaiting deportation. And this is what it sounded like. Cut 9. Yes, cut 9. I said that already. Let my people stay.
Let my people stay. Refugees flock to our shore. Let my people stay. Go back.
Yeah, refugees walk to our shore. Let my people stay. Let my people stay. My people. So, didn't change anything. They're still there. And they are staying inside the detention center until they are let go. Back home. James Golden and Snerdley. Everything's everything. Keep it right here.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Cadillac. When you have 4 new tires, every drive feels fresh. Right now, buy 3 select tires and get 1 for just $1 during the Cadillac Certified Service Fresh Start Tire event. Visit Cadillac.com/service offers or see dealer for full details. At participating U.S. GM dealers only. Highest or equal value tire will be $1. Offer ends 5/31/2025. Not available with other offers.
We off? 30 seconds of carefree bliss. Oof, like wind in your hair carefree. Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree. Yes. Like Doc slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree? He's on a roll now. Spit toothpaste on the faucet? You got it. You got it. Peanut butter on the light switch. Oh, spritz, spritz. Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
Ladies, you'll end up shopping for your guy's deodorant, right? So try Degree's Original Cool Rush. You see, last year, Degree changed the formula, and men were mad. One guy even started a petition. So Degree admitted they messed up and brought the Original Cool Rush scent back. It's clean, crisp, and actually smells like someone you want to cuddle. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So toss one in your cart and find out why it's the best-selling men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, liberals are having a cow. I love what I read in the Los Angeles Times today. Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz. Californians are deeply skeptical. The proposal, which would be extraordinarily expensive and logistically challenging, drew derision from locals and from tourists. Well, isn't that just great? Maybe we ought to base all policy based on what the tourists think. I mean, the tourists vote. Go figure. The chances of Alcatraz being repurposed as a prison are about as large as landing a man on Pluto, says Aaron Peskin, a former member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Really? If I had my way, there would only be one prisoner in the place, and that would be Donald Trump. And it goes on and on from these leftists. But I love this. The idea is that it's too expensive. It is too expensive to reopen Alcatraz. I'm going to talk about that. Expensive. When we get back. Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, streaming now only on Netflix.
The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
You guys, I just found the most incredible Mother's Day gift. It's called Goldbelly. Goldbelly is this amazing site where you can get the most iconic foods from restaurants all across the U.S., shipped anywhere in the country for free in time for Mother's Day. We're talking cakes from Ina Garten and Martha Stewart, Magnolia Bakery's famous banana pudding, and New York bagel brunches. Make Mother's Day perfect with Goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code MOM. That's Goldbelly.com, promo code MOM.
Jif peanut butter. It's that jiffing good, it doesn't really need advertising. So instead, enjoy the calming sounds of the ocean.
Jif. Ooh, it's that
Jiffing good. Get your Jif at Jif.com.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Flashback. Last week, Ilhan Omar.
Congresswoman Omar, I'm Miles Morrell with the Daily Caller News Foundation. Do you think more of your Democratic colleagues should be traveling to El Salvador to advocate on behalf of Rodrigo Garcia?
I think you should off. Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, what, Congresswoman?
off.
Who should?
You.
Why me?
We're not taking any questions right now, but here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Leader. Last week, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar cursed out a reporter for asking a question about House Democrats traveling to El Salvador. Do you condemn her rhetoric?
I haven't seen that.
Well, is
response.
it appropriate for any member of your conference or any conference to kind of verbally...
Is it appropriate for Donald Trump to attack people the way that he has repeatedly attacked folks? This is the President of the United States of America. That's the question that I'd be happy to answer at any point in time, because his statements have been in the public domain that have been outrageous, unethical, filled with lies for 8 years. And I'm in a pretty comfortable place because we're all familiar with them. I didn't see that exchange with Ilhan Omar.
Thank you, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Liberals. Okay, let's start with the fun attacks. We're just going to go right down. I'm just going to randomly pick things from the audio surprise that we have today. Let's start with Jasmine, number one. Let's just hear Jasmine's latest. Whatever. Just
because
Jasmine.
they've been working and they've been doing the jobs that now they want to roll back child labor protections and make sure that poor children are the ones that are doing those jobs, because now we're going to have those vacancies if we're going to have jobs left at all as we continue to endure the grind of this failed experiment around this tariff war.
I want to ask you, the U.S. Department of Education...
Okay, so just stop there. Just stop there. It's Jake Tapper, and he doesn't even address the lunacy. So Republicans now, if we get her right, and that's hard because it's trying to follow this so-called thinking, if that's what you want to call it, is difficult. But if we're hearing this properly, Republicans now want to get rid of child labor laws so that children, poor children in particular, can be put to work because of tariffs somehow. I'm not sure. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe you're hearing it. Just one more time. Let's just listen and see what Jasmine Crockett is saying.
Because they've been working and they've been doing the jobs that now they want to roll back child labor protections and make sure that poor children are the ones that are doing those jobs, because now we're going to have those vacancies if we're going to have jobs left at all as we continue to endure the grind of this failed experiment around this tariff war.
I want to ask you, the U.S. Department...
That just... Okay, thank you. Representative Veronica Escobar. I don't know whether she's... Should I even ask if she's related? No, I'm not going to... No, I won't ask if she's... Veronica Escobar was questioning Chris Denome, who has the nickname in some quarters now Ice Barbie. Chris Denome... about children being deported. And this is what that sounded like. Cut 3.
I'd like to now focus on U.S. citizens who were deported. In fact, 3 children so far, likely more children. One of those children with cancer who was deported without the medication necessary to address that child's cancer. Again, a U.S. citizen. The lawyers have said that they were not given, the family was not given an opportunity to make plans for the kids. And so they were deported, essentially, again, U.S. citizens. I have a question about the forms that ICE is supposed to utilize when engaging with parents who have children, the parents who are being deported, and the U.S. citizen children. One of those forms is ICE Form 71-078, or the caregiver designation at arrest form, where any of the individuals who were deported, who had U.S. citizen children deported with them, were they given an opportunity to sign that form?
When these, the specific cases that you're referencing with these children, it was the parents' choice to take their children.
And did ICE
which it is
follow through
of the
on the
Trump
policy?
administration to keep families together.
Ma'am, reclaiming my time. I told you at the top of this, ma'am, reclaiming my time. I said that the questions are really simple. Yes or no? Was that
so this woman pontificates?
I will get back to you on that specific form.
No, this woman pontificates for 3 minutes, wandering into a point, and then as soon as you start to answering, no. This is reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. Miss Escobar. Okay. Certain sound bites speak for themselves.
What does reclaiming my time means?
It means when you are a Congress person and you're at a hearing, you have an allocation of time that you have. So, for instance, at some hearings, each congressperson will get 5 minutes. And they only have 5 minutes on that round. So when they say reclaiming my time, that means shut up. You're taking my time to question you. I want to use my time. Even though I'm asking you questions, shut up. I want to dominate. It's my time. I only have 5 minutes, and you're not going to filibuster me. So reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
It makes sense if you watch C-SPAN.
No. I'm saying that because she's there to ask questions, get answers. Then she was asking questions.
But she doesn't want answers. All she wants to do is pontificate, make a point, and get something that'll go on TV. So, it's a photo op.
That's what they want. Clicks.
Yeah, exactly. That version. Okay. This next one, my friends, cut 6, needs no explanation. It is Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi on Fox. I think she was with Martha McCallum, but this speaks for itself.
People in China don't get addicted to fentanyl because they're shipping it to our country to kill 18 to 34-year-olds. 75,000 Americans are dying every year because of fentanyl. It is a weapon of mass destruction, in my opinion. It's destroying lives. It's costing our taxpayers trillions of dollars. And it's killing our kids, 18 to 34, #1 cause of death. The precursors are all made in China. It's shipped to Mexico, into our country, or through now India, other routes, ports of entry, USPS, coming into our country, and they're killing our kids, and it's got to stop. And it takes 1 grain of fentanyl. I put it in here to show you earlier. You can barely see it. It looks like 1 grain. This is salt, not fentanyl. 1 grain is all it takes to kill an American citizen. And that's what these people are doing.
She was on Larry Kudlow. What's interesting about that, weapon of mass destruction. I would just refer you to those in memory to COVID. Moving on. CNN. I'm going to skip the CNN for now because I want to get back to it. But I said before the break, and this is going to take a little while, before the break, I talked to you about the LA Times article. They have liberals sneering at Donald Trump, sneering over this Alcatraz being reopened. I quoted this guy, Aaron Peskin, former member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisor. Chances of Alcatraz being repurposed as a prison is about as large as a man landing on Pluto. He says the only guy he wants as a prisoner in there is Donald Trump. There are others say he's not going to get it approved. It's, et cetera. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. So I want you to keep that in mind. This line of thought that we're now hearing from California liberals. It is too expensive. It is too expensive to reopen Alcatraz. And tourists, by the way, don't like the idea either. But California doesn't like the idea. So I want to turn to something. This is a little bit lengthy. We may cut it off. Cut 23. I just want to remind you about this. This is Congressman from California, Kevin Kiley. And all the time keeps saying it's too expensive to open Alcatraz.
Mr.
It's
Speaker,
too expensive.
I wanted to provide an update on the non-existent high-speed rail project
to open Alcatraz
in California. As I've noted on this floor before, I've introduced a resolution or legislation to cut off all future federal funding for California high-speed rail. I was with Secretary Duffy when he announced an investigation into where the recent federal funding has actually gone, and I have called upon the FBI Director Kash Patel to launch an investigation into what happened to the $17 billion that has already been spent. At this point, the cost of the project is estimated to be about $100 billion more than it was initially sold to the public. But we did get some news this week, and maybe I've been a little too unkind to high-speed rail. The new CEO, and by the way, this is the 5th CEO, so there have been 5 more CEOs than there have been riders. 5 CEOs, 0 riders. The new CEO came out with some exciting news. He announced that he has a goal by the year 2045 of completing the line going from Palmdale to Gilroy. So let's parse that statement. A goal of 2045 going from Palmdale to Gilroy. Well, 2045 is, of course, 20 years from now. I'll note that when the project was passed in 2008, it was supposed to be done, the entire thing, by 2020. So the whole thing was supposed to be done 5 years ago, but now the CEO is saying, I've got an exciting
and it goes from
plan.
there. He goes on from there. This thing goes on for like 4 more minutes. You get the drift. They want $100 billion. It was not supposed to cost anywhere near this. They've already spent $17 billion. Not one train going anywhere. And you have these people, these Democrats now mocking and sneering at Donald Trump because he says, let's reopen Alcatraz. Now, something interesting. Something interesting about the crime numbers. Let's go to cut 11. Harry Enton, CNN. Let's hear it.
All right, net approval rating handling crime. What do we have here? We have a positive rating for Donald Trump, even in the most recent polling. Look at that, at plus 2 points. Far better than Joe Biden, who was so far underwater. My goodness, he was setting records at minus 26 points. You rarely ever see it. So Donald Trump ran in part on law and order. It was one of the reasons that he got elected. And at this particular point, Americans like what they're hearing from him on the issue of crime. And you see this right here with a plus 2 net approval rating, far better than Joe Biden left office with back in 2024.
He wasn't done. There's more. Dig this.
What about just how worried people are actually about crime, about this exact issue?
Yeah, exactly right, Kate. So, we think about crime and we say, okay, it's one thing how they're viewing Trump, but are their views of overall crime changing as Donald Trump gets into the White House? And what do we see here? Well, the percentage of Americans who worry a great deal about crime, we actually have seen that percentage drop over the last year. It was 53% last year, and look at where we are now. We're at 47%. It's the first time in about 5 years in which the percentage of Americans who worry a great deal about crime has actually dropped under the 50% mark. And more than that, it's a rare issue that we've seen from 2024 to 2025 in which the percentage of Americans who worry a great deal about a particular issue has actually dropped by 5 points or more. In fact, it's one of only 2 issues in which we saw a 5-point decline among both Democrats and Republicans. So I think Donald Trump is going to continue on this law and order issue because the bottom line is it is working for him.
Meanwhile, California liberals are sneering. It's too expensive to open up Alcatraz again. Really? Everything that comes out of their mouth is negative. We can't do it. We can't get rid of criminals. Oh, no, we can't open up a prison again. It's too complex. It's too difficult. We can't do it. These people are negative through and through. James Golden, Snerdley, fastest hour in media continues.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Enterprise Mobility. From fleet management to flexible truck rentals to technology solutions, Enterprise Mobility helps businesses find the right mobility solutions so they can find new opportunities. Because if your business is on the road, they want to make sure it's on the road to success. Enterprise Mobility, moving you moves the world. Find your road at enterprisemobility.com.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera a Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
This episode is brought to you by Factor. Optimize your nutrition this year with Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal service. Factor's fresh, never-frozen meals are dietitian-approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from 40 weekly options across 8 dietary preferences, like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Eat smarter at factormeals.com/listen50 and use code LISTEN50 for 50% off, plus free shipping on your first box. Factormeals.com/listen50. Code LISTEN50. Terms and conditions apply.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Folks, there's a story here that we must do today. American manufacturers overwhelmed with orders after Trump's tariff crackdown on China. American manufacturers are seeing a surge in demand. They're not torn between two lovers. A surge in demand. They point out Juergens Inc., a Midwest toolmaker with less than 500 employees, says it's going like gangbusters to try to keep up with demand. Wall Street Journal reported. They're seeing an influx of orders from customers trying to avoid import tariffs. We're running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, says their president. We're swamped. Grand River Rubbers and Plastic, not those kind of rubbers, torn between two lovers. At plastics and rubber manufacturer, well, maybe they do make those kind of rubbers. Anyway, they said that their customers once offshore to China are now reversing course. 2 buyers who left years ago returned within days of each other. The new oil filter manufacturers have already placed orders. The company's new business could amount to $5 million annually, roughly 10% increase of their revenue. And it goes on. Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it already happening. Donald Trump has said it is happening, folks. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your family, your loved ones. God willing, we are back tomorrow for the Wednesday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?